All right, all right. We are out back at the podcast studio today. We have a very special guest coming to us today, and we have Sharonda Gray from Shasha's LLC, which is multiple companies within one LLC, which we will get to. Good morning, Sharonda. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. I am fantastic.
Thanks for coming on today. I'm excited to have a chat with you and let the visitors of and fans of Grit Won't Quit hear more about what you're doing.
Yes, I'm excited.
So so let's get right into it. You're a multi-talented person with gifts that is not limiting to one thing, and you have four different businesses that you're currently operating and running, huh?
Yes.
That's awesome. So let's go into the business. Let's go into each of the businesses, and then kind of what's going on. What's some of the grit that you're dealing with? What's some of the obstacles you're looking to overcome, and kind of how you're doing it, because these all started within the last few years too.
Yes.
All right. So start with whichever one you'd like.
Okay, so can I give you a little background, a little history of how Shasha's came about?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I originally wanted to get back into entrepreneurship because technically I'm a preschool teacher full time by trade.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that for almost 28 years.
Wow.
And so once my kids grown and everything, I decided I wanted to go back into business because I went to culinary school first
Mm-hmm.
and then I went into education. So, and my mother came up with the name Shasha for my niece. And then my niece didn't want it and gave it to my grandmother. And that's how Shasha's was born for Shasha's as a grandmother name.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, my husband and I met. He called me Sha because my name is Sharonda. And then he started having grandkids. So then we, instead of originally having a grandmother name because they already have a biological grandmother, I became Shasha's. He said, let's
Mm-hmm.
call you Shasha's. So then I wanted to, so once I started going back into my business mode, entrepreneurship, I wanted to brand the name because then my grandmother died, my father died, and my mother died. So I wanted to brand the name and keep
Mm-hmm.
it living. So that's where Shasha's came at.
Okay.
However, I had more than one talent and that I just not want to put aside. So I thought it was crazy until I met other people doing the same thing. So all the businesses came about. So there's Shasha's online beauty supply store that came first. Well, Shasha's online education program came first. The Touching the Life preschool came first. Then the online beauty supply store came next. And then the thrift store came because then I lost a lot of weight. So I started selling clothes and then that came about and I saw it was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to continue it. And then the catering service came because I have a culinary background. Went to culinary school way back when and wanted to do this. So then I started that. I always done my family dinners, Thanksgiving and Christmas for the last 15 to 20 years with his family and my family together.
Sure.
And everybody just came to my house. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I kept my cooking skills sharpened. And then I brought my kids up cooking with me and my niece and nephews cooking with me. And then they all became my team where they actually became my prep cooks and all that and sous chef. So
Wow.
then once we took off with the business, the preschools runs itself because it's a subscription program. I transitioned over from online in person to now a subscription program. So that runs itself. The online beauty supply store is a shipping company. So I just runs itself. And then I pop it out at pop-up shops sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Bring my products. And then the thrift store runs itself as well. I just post pictures and go, so it runs itself. And then I pop them out as well as a pop up. So I go to different places like Columbus Market, Cowtown. things like that, other events, things like that. My food, my clothes, my beauty. So I can do Shasha's merchandise or I can do Shasha's food.
Okay.
That's how I become a vendor. Okay. And then and then yeah, so that's all that. And then the preschool program is a subscription program. So that's how I run all the businesses. That's how I end up running all the businesses.
So it sounds like you have it under control. It sounds like everything's kind of on cruise control. That you've set up a good infrastructure to allow for it to kind of run itself.
Yes.
And what's next on for you?
So the catering business is doing really well. Shasha's Catering is doing really well. In fact, I'm going to end up changing the name.
What is it going to be?
And so it's going to be Shasha's Kitchen and Catering Service.
Okay.
Yes. So Shasha's Kitchen and Catering. And because my daughters run my business. So I'm going to I teach during the day
Mm-hmm.
and I'm off for the summer. And then we run it full time during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I teach during the school year. And my daughter runs the business while I'm at school so that we do the events on the weekend,
Sure.
catering and all that on the weekend. And so because it's becoming so popular and we are in demand now, we're going to get a building. We're going to go into a brick and mortar.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. And we're going to start in 5, 6, 7 phases. So the first phase is the catering. The second phase is we want to do a candy shop because I stand on big shoulders. My great grandmother had a restaurant, a candy store, and a church.
Okay. Wow.
So we want to bring that candy store concept back / bakery because I also bake.
You got a lot
So we're
going
gonna do
on.
yes.
I like that
I'm
big
sorry.
shoulders. That sounds good. That sounds cool. A good way to think about your grandmother to what you're aspiring to. And it's great to see that you have your kids involved in this and have them learning through your entrepreneurial vision.
Yes. Yes. My great grandmother on
Oh,
my
great
mother's
grandma.
side.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Yes.
That's so cool. And now this if you get a facility, you're gonna have all
Yes.
new things going on, all new
Yes.
overhead and other things to think
Yes.
about.
Yes. In fact, I'm already kind of really doing it now because I turned my whole house into a business
Yep. So, where are you looking to put this facility?
in my local area in Lumberton.
Okay, perfect. And you'll staff it during the day and everything like that so that you can get walk-in traffic and things like that.
Yeah, because my family already committed to running each of the businesses.
Sure,
Mhm.
that's great. And now the kids, your children that are in it, they enjoy it, they like it, they understand the hustle and the grit of what you have going on.
Yeah, so my oldest daughter has her master degree in early childhood, so she's gonna run the daycare in the
Okay,
preschool.
sure.
And then my daughter has the skills of culinary. She started in culinary first. She has daycare background, but her husband, he's a chef. So her and him gonna run the restaurant, the
Yep.
catering part. Yes. And then my niece and nephew all gonna take a store, the candy store and everything like that. I have an older niece, 2 nieces and a nephew that's gonna run the other businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. And then my husband, who's IT project manager, he's a computer based. He's gonna set up, and my niece gonna set up the technology within the entire infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. You're
Yes.
gonna be busy, and then you're gonna do all your drop shipping out of there too for the beauty,
Yes.
and then your house could go back to being a house.
Yes.
So, what's some of the grit and some of the things you had to overcome in the last few years as you've been starting this business?
Ooh, a lot. Let's start with health. That's why I lost. My family all died from health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go get the weight loss surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and I dropped close to 100 pounds.
You look great.
Thank you, thank you. So I started with my health because that was an issue because I wouldn't have been able to have the stamina I have now. Um, you understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then with the fact that I need the mental stability to deal with everything that's coming on my plate. Um, and so I now take herbal products. So my health was one. My family was another because my daughter was in El Paso. My other daughter was dealing with stuff over in New Jersey. My husband was dealing with stuff with his family, and I was dealing with stuff with my workplace and the family structure of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that had to, and then I'm a blended family. So I have 6 kids together, 12, 13, 14 grandkids all together.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandmother was sick, and I was trying to take care of her, me and my sister and brother, while we was taking care of my dad died suddenly.
I'm
Then we had
sorry.
to take care of my mother. So my grandmother died in COVID
Mm-hmm.
in nursing home. She was 90 something.
Sorry.
Then my dad died on Father's Day in
Oh,
COVID.
that's a tough thing to overcome on that one.
And that was all of a sudden. And we
Yeah.
didn't even get a chance to take care of him in his senior age.
Mm-hmm.
And so that hit hard right
Sure.
here.
Yeah. And now, how's your
But
mom
I'm still,
doing?
and then my mom died a
Oh,
year
I'm sorry.
after that.
Ooh. So you've had a lot of death to deal with and mourn.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with my dad one. I'm still
Yep.
dealing with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So we're gonna
sorry.
have a memorial. We're gonna have a memorial celebration slash granddaughter. Because then my mother, my daughter had her child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that brought us back to joy. So we're doing the birthday party here at my house, a big one, big one. And we're gonna call it slash memorial celebration for my father.
Great. Celebration of life, and you got the granddaughter.
Yeah, because he left early so she could be here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Understood. That's, yeah. At least there
That's
was a
how I look at it.
yeah, there was a
Cause
positive.
she, yeah, because she couldn't. My daughter was miscarriaging.
Mm-hmm. All right, and now that your daughters have moved back to where you are.
Well, they don't know they are.
Oh,
They
okay.
staying.
Yep.
No, cause her husband can go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get them a house out here so they can stay out here. Cause I don't want them to leave again.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
I won't tell them. I won't tell them that you have what you have what you have in store for them. Shh, secret safe. All right. I love it. So now, do they understand all that goes into running a business, and they understand all the hard work and effort and that you've dealt with in getting these things set up?
Because my kids are me times 10.
Okay, that's good. So they could be multitaskers. They could understand the pushing and the finances and the passion and encouragement that goes into this and the
They
determination.
talk they talk amongst themselves, and they said we're gonna keep Shasha's going because the goal is I'm giving them the business, and all I ask is that they continue the business after I'm done. Once I set the foundation, my husband and I are gonna sit in rocking chairs while they run the business.
I love it. That's great. I think that that's a fantastic way to go about this. I think it's great that you're setting these guys up for future success and keep the name going after you're gone.
Yes, it's like a legacy.
I love
Always
it.
wanted to
Yep,
do
sure.
something.
That's great. And which business is your favorite to be in the day to day right now?
the catering.
Mm-hmm. Just have a passion for the food.
And and that was what I went out of high school going toward, the culinary school in Atlantic City, Atlantic Cape Community Culinary Program.
Mm-hmm.
But life got in the way.
Okay. All right. So now you got it going, and you can spread that love across the board to all your customers, and get them taken care of with all for all those family parties and special events.
Yes, and people are really tasting the love in the food.
Yep. Did you have a particular um, dish that you like the best, or what is it that what do people like
So
from you?
my specialties are some of the family dishes that I've continued. My mother was a good cook. My grandmother on my dad's side was a great cook. My great grandmother was an excellent cook, and now my mother-in-law is excellent. So I use a combination of all of their recipes,
Mm-hmm.
and I put an individual twist on them.
Okay.
So some of them could be, a lot of them is, um. So I do a great baked turkey wing.
Nice.
Yeah, not like the way soggy snap. I don't do that. I
Mm-hmm.
do a great macaroni salad and country style potato salad.
And what's a country style potato salad?
So that's a recipe that my grandmother on my father's side gave me. So it would be just the regular russet potatoes, mayonnaise, mustard, relish, your seasoning, a little bit of celery, a little bit of onion, and you mix it together with a nice seasoning salt. And you
Mm-hmm.
mix it together and you put it cold. So a lot of people want to make that potato salad like white colored or just bland,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to have a right combination of sweet and salty savory type thing going on. And the potato has to be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Um, and now on the subscription business for the daycare, how's that working
Yeah.
out so far?
So back when COVID happened, we all had to transition to remote. We had to
Mm-hmm.
transition to remote learning. I was a part of a program called Joy's Preschool System, and Joy's Preschool System helped a lot of us prior to COVID position ourselves to do our own business online,
Okay.
because I didn't want to in person yet. I didn't want to in person, and I had a preschool background. I wanted to do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she encouraged us with a system that she had already created. So I bought into the system. She helped us get our business started. After we got our business started and set up, COVID happened.
Yep.
Once, yeah, once COVID happened, the school districts then went remote. But but I was already trained on how to do an online program. So
Mm-hmm.
you see this background right here?
Yes.
That background came from being a part of Joy's preschool system. So when I transitioned to being teacher of in a remote program, it was easy for me to teach from home because you're sitting in my classroom. I'm sitting in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I just changed my daughter's room into my classroom.
Great.
And then later, as everybody started jumping on board with online, because online teaching is not new. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't. However, the school districts just got on board with it.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, it started getting so popular and I was doing so well, we went back into person and all that changed.
Yep.
So with that being said, yeah, all that changed. So with that being said, the business started slowing down. So Joy reinvented the program concept and said, let's do a subscription program.
Mm-hmm.
So a subscription program similar to ABC Mouse. You know ABC Mouse?
I'm not familiar with ABC Mouse. How does that work?
So it's an ABC Mouse program is people, the parents and educators buy into the program, and you have access to all these lessons and activities and lesson plans and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So so Joy set up where we can do the same thing. So she enlists all of the members who was talented in science, math, art, music, Spanish, and she created the videos, and now it's in a one house place in a system where we sell the subscription plan, and parents have access to all that information on a regular anytime they want, and they can show it to their kids and teach them on a like lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, like that.
Fantastic. That's great.
Yes.
That's wow. Good. So this is here to stay, and this is great learning for children.
Yes.
It's great. So let me know how people can find you. So so anybody that wants to listen, learn more about you after this podcast, like how can they find you online?
Okay. So I am on Facebook.
Okay. And where would they find you on Facebook?
At Shasha's Catering, at Shasha Catering Service, no S. Shasha, SHASHACatering Catering Service. Shasha Catering Service, and that's the Facebook. And then I have Shasha Beauty Supply Store on Facebook.
All right, cool.
And then I have Touching a Life Preschool Online Facebook.
Okay.
And then all three of those are on Instagram too.
Great. All right, cool. Well, this was a great conversation today. I'm glad that we were able to get you on the podcast. And I look forward to continuing to communicate with you. And I wish you nothing but the best for you and your daughters. And I can't wait to hear more about how the success is happening later in this year.
Yes, and I appreciate you taking time to listen to my story.
Absolutely, it's a great story. I love the legacy idea. I love what you've set up for your kids, your nieces, and your nephew. And I look forward to, like I said, I can't wait to hear more.
Oh, okay.
All right, have a great day. Bye bye.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.